How are you guys doing today? It's Lucian Games. Today I'm going to be showing a few people how to operate and manage Discord on the Android mobile app. Alright? First things first is this video is going to be about how to create your own server. I'm not going to go in depth on bots or anything like that. I may do a video later on about it. But right now we're just going to go in depth about how to create and manage your own server. So if you're on Android, what you'll do is, you see that little moving thing right there? Right there, tap that, go to create server. We're going to call this test server 1. Alright, you got your name. You can upload a picture now or upload one later. You could be creating the server with no idea what you want it to be. You're just creating a server. I'm not going to upload an image, but I will go ahead and put a server region and hit create. As soon as you create a server, it's automatically going to give you the option to invite people or create an instant invite. We're not going to do that right now. Hit that little arrow right there. Now you've got this right here. First things first, what I always prefer to do is I prefer to go and delete channels. Now the way you delete channels is, so say with voice channels. Voice channels get a little bit weird. We'll hit edit channel right up here. There's 3 little dots. Tap that and hit delete channel, and it's gone. Categories are the same way. Edit category right there. Delete category. I'm not going to delete this because it's going to save me the creation of another category later. I'll leave that. Edit channel, delete channel, delete. Alright, so now we have deleted channels. Alright, now just for the sake of argument, I'm going to go ahead and actually go back and delete this. Edit category, right here, delete category. No, I forgot that's what happens when you do that. When you delete channels, when you delete all the channels, anytime you swipe over, this is all you'll see is your friends list. Alright. First things first, we're going to go right here, hit server settings. This is going to give you an overview of everything. You know, your overview right here. We're going to show you your region, so now I can go and change the region. I can change my AFK settings. I don't ever really mess with those. You know, and of course I can manage all of the stuff that has to do with Discord with Nitro. Alright, back out of there. Yeah, you can change the name from there, and then this is where you'll go to add in the image later on. Moderation. This stuff right here tells, you know, read it, and it, you know, it really explains itself what it does. Alright, back out of there. Your audit log. Audit log will show you any moderator action that is done. Anything you do, anything that's done as far as removing channels, deleting channels, adding, well no, I don't think it does that for adding channels, but anytime you manage permissions of anything, it'll mess with that as well. It'll also show ban events, kick events, anything you want done, and of course you can filter it to specific things that you want to see. Integrations, I can't mess with that right now. Security, 2-factor authentication. Okay, I might look more into that. Emojis, if you're creative enough, you can create your own emojis and upload them to your server. Alright, user management, right here. You know, manage the list of users, app heathen, you know, change nickname. I don't have any roles yet, so I can't really mess with that. So what we're going to do is right here, create new role. Tap right there. Save. I can save it like that to where this role is not important. It's just a name, you know. So if I want to group a certain, you know, say I've got 10 people, you know, that are a part of a certain group, but I don't want to announce them, you know, or separate them from everybody else. I can create a role like this that's basic, and so when I need all of their attention, I can just at this role, and then it will tag all of them and save me the trouble of having to message them or tag them individually. So roles like this where you create and you don't do anything, you know, are great for tagging multiple people, but without creating a division between everybody else. So say, you know, I've got a team of artists, you know, and I need their attention, but, you know, I don't, you get the drift. But say I want them to be shown differently from everyone else, then I will display members separately from other members. Allow anyone to mention this role, you know. And that's toggleable, you know, however you want to do it whenever you're doing this. All right. General permissions. These are, you know, the basic things, you know. Administrator. Essentially, the administrator role is somebody who is equal to you. The only difference between you and them is they cannot delete the server. That is the only difference between you and them. So you want to be very careful who you give this role to. Me personally, I prefer to never give anyone this role, but what I do is I essentially make it to where they are an administrator without that specific power. So what I do is, you know, I give them permission to view the audit log, which is what I showed you a minute ago, where you can see every administrative type action that's administrative or moderator type action that's done. Manage the server, meaning that they can change name, move regions, you know, all that different kind of stuff. Manage roles, meaning that they can create new roles like I just did for this one, and they can delete them. Now the way that works is, so real quick, test 1. The way the manage roles permission works is you see this role right here, the one that's flashing. I'm moving around right here. That role right there. So say that role has the manage role permission. It cannot mess with my role up here at the top, but it can't, and it cannot mess with itself. So whoever has this role, they can't edit any of their own settings. They can't edit any of my settings, but they can mess with test 2, they can mess with everyone, they can mess with everything below them. Alright? So, there's that one. Manage channel. Members of that permission can manage channels, names, or delete them, or I believe create new channels too. Kick members, pretty obvious. Ban members, pretty obvious. Create invite. So if you want somebody to be able to, you know, invite people whenever they want, you can leave that role open, or you can just, no, hell no, you don't want them doing that. Change your nickname. They can change their own nickname. I don't see any reason why you would want them to do that unless, you know, you're running a server for a specific type of thing, so you don't want you want people's name to represent. So say I have a PlayStation account, set up for a PlayStation group. You know, I would prefer everyone have their gamer tag, so it's easier to know who is who, rather than trying to remember who is who. You know, so if you got people who like to change their name 30 times like I do, you know, because I change my name a lot on here, it's sometimes a good way to prevent, you know, that from happening. Manage nicknames means that they can change the nickname of other people. Usually only give that to like a moderator. Manage emojis, meaning that they can create and add emojis to the server. Manage webhooks. Alright. Read. This one is a very important permission actually, which we'll go into in a minute. This is essentially what allows them to see everything. You take this permission away, they can't see anything. text permissions, send messages, text to speech. Manage messages is another moderator permission. Add links, files, read message history, mention everyone, use external emojis, add reactions. So say somebody's a part of another server that has their own custom emojis. You don't want those emojis being broadcasted all over here to make them stick out or seem better than somebody. You can just do that right there, and that prevents them from using their external emojis here. Add reactions is essentially the same thing, only using Discord emojis. Then you can manage their ability to connect to voice channels. Now we're going to go into creating channels. You create channels by just simply typing that plus sign right there, and then like done. Hit that check mark right up there. Now we have a new channel. Right, now there's a couple things you can do with any channel that you make. So if I want this channel to be where people can only read what's said in it, what I will do is I'll hit that, edit channel, permissions, add role, add everyone, right? So now I don't want them to create invites to that channel. I don't want anyone to manage that channel. Oh yeah, the administrative role also is able to override what I'm doing right now, which is another dangerous thing about administration, is they can override everything that I'm doing to prevent people from talking in this channel. So I don't want anybody managing positions, anybody managing webhooks. I want them to be able to read. They cannot send messages, they cannot send TTS, cannot manage message, they cannot embed links, they cannot attach files, and they can read message history. That is the best way to do it, is read, text, and see this, this, and this. Right here, right here, right here. Right? Save. Now, everyone in the server, doesn't matter what role they have, that is the way it will work for them. Now, the only way to override that is say, this is my administrative role that I've created with certain permissions, right? And I want them to be able to do that. What I always do is, of course, I always go no invite, no manage channel, no manage permissions, no manage webhook. They can read. They can send messages. They can do that. They can manage messages. They can embed links, attach files. They cannot attach, or they can embed links. They can attach files. They can read, mention everyone, and then block those. This essentially allows them to write and comment in there, but they cannot delete or do anything else. All right, and then save. And now, test 2 is the only one that can write in here and post stuff aside from, of course, myself. I own the server. I can override every permission set in the server. All right, there's that. Now, say you have an entire category, which will be this one right here where it says text channels. If you have an entire category that you want to be able to do this, that you want like that, rather than having to go in and edit every single channel, what I'll do is go down here. I'm going to create a category, and I'm going to go with that right there. Okay, so now text channel, GG. That right there. 2 channels. Rather than having to go and do that, what I can do is I can hard press on oh hey there, go to edit category, permissions, add role, add everyone, and then do that right there. Just those 2 just to show you. You can, of course, do whatever you want with any of this list. And when you're editing a category, you can also edit the voice channel permissions, because some people have voice channels in text categories. Hit save right there. Now, if you go down here, back, shit. GG, edit channel, permissions. Everyone's there now, because when you edit the category, excuse me, when you edit a category, it also edits the channels. Any channel inside that category will have its permissions changed to match that category. So say you have a channel in a locked category that you want people to be able to talk in, then you'll have to go in and manually edit that one particular channel's permissions, right? Now, if you're like me, I prefer to have a server set up to where there is a category specifically for moderators and administrators. So what you'll do is you go here, server settings, or not server settings, you go here, create category, and you can do this for channels too. Private categories. Now, only me, I don't know why I tagged me, but say I give somebody else the same role as me, Say I don't give myself a special role that makes me stick out from everybody else and I group myself with other people, then I would add that role because they're a part of my group. And then test channel 1. But say, the other people in the same group as me, I don't want to see that channel. Then it's that easy. So, category name. Monologue. Right here. Now watch this. Create. Now it's got a little lock right there. What that lock means is that nobody can see this except for the people who have the roles that I assigned to be a part of it. So anybody that'll show up here now will only be the people who have, the Heathen and Mod 1 role. And that should be it for right now. Thank you guys, and you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.